Hey, leaders and learners, Leonard Geddes here again with the Learn Well projects. I just wanted to pop in here for a minute and share an idea that just sort of this revelation that just happened to me. I am in the process of writing this book. And for those who may have not heard already, I'm writing this book that's going to come out hopefully in the fall of 2021, that's tentatively titled Transition, Gaps, and Traps. And it's focused on these crazy traps and gaps that students have to face when they transition from high school into college. And these are the sort of things that really trip students up. They hinder students from performing up to their capabilities, and they strip students away they strip institutions away of their retention numbers and revenues and all those other things that we really care about in higher education. Equity, learning, deep learning, all those types of things. And so while I'm in this process of writing, I just began to feel like, I'm really not a writer. Writing is wrestling. And I feel like I'm a ideal wrestler, and I'm probably not the first one to come up with this particular metaphor, but when I'm writing, it's like I start off an idea in my head and I see it clearly, but as I go to write that idea out, it's like it starts fighting against me. It's like I see how the sentence is supposed to start, and then it unfolds. And then all of a sudden, as I start unfolding that sentence, there are these wrinkles and these creases that are coming against me, fighting against me. And so I realized that there's this gap between the actual fruition of our thoughts and then the actual fruits of that particular thought. And there's some labor that has to happen in between, and that labor is a wrestling match. And so for me, I found though that the wrestling match is much more enjoyable because I am driven by this passion to put this message out to educators, students, parents, whoever, because I believe and I've seen that it will free students to boost their performance in institutions, to retain more of their students. And I just began to think that if you are someone who is writing, maybe you're an artist, maybe you're an engineer, maybe you're a business owner, entrepreneur, and you have these ideas that you may get frustrated with yourself because the idea doesn't unfold as seamlessly as it does in your mind, and it takes some work to really draw that idea out. I just want to encourage you to keep working. For me, this book has been almost a year that I've been writing, and I must say it's been a pleasurable experience for me. And so what made me want to jump on here and share this is that I'm in the process of writing this chapter on what I call pseudo work. And pseudo work is very common in higher education. In fact, it's probably the primary way that most students go about doing academic work. And pseudo work, for our conversation purposes, it's work that doesn't add up to what students actually need to do. And so students may spend a lot of time studying, feeling like what they're doing is going to be fruitful, but then it doesn't actually end up working out for them, and that they've engaged in pseudo work. And so while I'm writing this chapter, I'm writing this part about what learning is supposed to look like, and I'm using some research terms, and just to give you a little glimpse, and then of what I'm talking about is that real academic work is supposed to come with these what researchers call pleasures of learning. There are these emotional highs that sustain you, and it's the mechanisms that turn the drudgery into discovery. And so for students, that's when you're digging through material and you get that aha moment. And that aha moment then resonates with something that you were supposed to know on a paper or a test or whatever it is that you're preparing for. And when students engage in pseudo work, they either have fake aha moments, things that seem to resonate in the moment, but because of some other things that they didn't do, then they don't pan out on the test. Or unfortunately, for many students, they have no pleasures during their studying. It's just all drudgery, all just hammers and nails the whole time. And unfortunately, that's not a good way to learn. That does not build any kind of resiliency, or that definitely goes against the notion of persistence. Because when people talk about persistence, what they talk about how you just have to grit it out and stick it out. But what they don't tell you is that there are supposed to be these momentary emotional highs as you go throughout the process. And so for us as writers, educators, whatever we may be here, entertainers, business owners, business leaders, or management, whatever you may be doing, I want to encourage you to just recognize that you're going to have to wrestle with those ideas, but you can win the wrestling match because you are both the opponent and you are the victor. So I encourage you to just continue thinking about those ideas, allow the sort of conception to marinate in your mind. And over time, your ideas will become clearer and you'll be able to express them much more efficiently. So I hope this helps you out. I look forward to coming back on here in the near future. Thanks.